Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? Matt here from YoVideogames, and they finally did it. They finally announced it. Some of the rumors were finally right. The Switch 2 is officially real. It's officially announced. It's officially shown off. We can all stop talking about the rumors or the what ifs, the factory assembly line leaks, and then my brother's uncle's cousin's second nephew works at Nintendo told me so. We finally have a look at the Switch 2. And I'll say this, I was initially kind of surprised only in the fact that it was just such a basic trailer. Like, I was fully expecting the pretty people in places playing things like they did for the Switch 1. However, this does go back to kind of what I was speculating, where maybe they didn't need to, have a big reveal blowout for the Switch 2, which was, it's a Switch 2. It's not really that much of a new concept. And that actually kind of became like really prophetic, where it's like, yeah, it's a better Switch. We don't have to like explain to you what you do with this thing. Like, we don't need to show people traveling places, playing it on a plane, playing it in a car, playing it, on a basketball court. It's a Switch, and it's bigger, and it has, different snapping Joy-Cons. The end. In fact, one thing I will point out right away, jumping the gun here, is that they blurred out the C button intentionally, except on the sides of the Joy-Con. So we don't actually know exactly what that's for yet. So that will continue to be rumor milled for a while. And again, we did at least get to see footage of Mario Kart 9 or 10, depending on however they name it. We don't really know. I don't really care one way or the other. It's the only game they teased. And yeah, like, I don't know how much more there is to say about that. Like, they did say it would be 2025. And the other big thing, which I think was actually kind of significant, is the fact that, they confirmed, yes, it will be backwards compatible. Yes, it will play Switch 1 games and game cartridges. However, they did put, a little asterisk in there and said certain Nintendo Switch games may not be supported on or fully compatible with Nintendo Switch 2. That's kind of interesting, but there is a million billion shovelware BS hentai games on the eShop that who knows if they're going to run into some sort of compatibility issue. I don't care. I fully expect this will be a PlayStation 5 to PlayStation 4 scenario where pretty much the vast majority of every game you probably own and Nintendo's published will probably run just fine on the Nintendo Switch 2. However, they said nothing about any upgrades, which I have also been trying to tell people, or at least warn them, that most of the games are probably not going to get any sort of resolution or frame rate upgrade on the Switch 2. Playing a Switch 1 game on a Switch 2 is probably going to be the exact same experience you had on the original hardware, unless the frame rate is uncapped, or unless they go back and manually patch in a resolution bump, or if it was designed ahead of time to recognize, say, the Switch 2 and run a higher resolution version of itself. But that remains to be seen. That'll probably be only for a very small select few games probably coming out this year. Again, also this year, they did say it's coming out this year. And the other big thing is that they're having a hands-on experience tour. They're going to do it all around the world. It's going to be in New York. It's going to be in LA. It's going to be in Dallas. I guess the Midwest can just go fuck itself, according to Nintendo. But like, it also going to be obviously Tokyo and other parts of Asia and Europe, Paris, London, etc. So no surprise there. But yeah, so there will be a hands-on date. And that's going to be a nightmare. It is free, but they are doing it through registration. So you have to register on Nintendo's website for it. And it's going to be a lottery drawing, so it's not going to be a first-come, first-serve, this is the smart way to go about it. I know people might hate that, but opening it up for 9 days to get a free entry, try to throw your name in a hat, and then they're going to, you'll get pulled if you get pulled. That's a great way to go about it. If I was Nintendo and I had made all the money that I had made off of the Nintendo Switch, I would have put this effort inside like the San Diego or the Anaheim Convention Center, and it still would have been a free lottery entry. But I mean, like, I would have put this thing in where you could hold like 100,000 people, because that's good. And I would have brought 500 demo stations or more, but they won't do that. They're probably gonna be stupid. They're probably, from what I saw for LA, they're hosting it in a movie studio soundstage, and there'll probably be like 30 or less demo units, and for the people there, it'll probably take you like a good hour to 2+ to get hands-on with 10 minutes of a video game. So yeah, this getting the hands-on tour is great. It's a great idea, but it's also going to be a nightmare to go into. But I don't want to talk about that because you probably don't care about any of that. Let's talk about like what we're actually seeing here. Again, there's not much to say about the system. It's a bigger Switch. Yay. But what we can talk about, and what I will be real with you here, is that the footage we did see of Mario Kart whatever, way underwhelming. Like, if they wanted to show off, like, hey, this is a big graphical boost, I didn't see it. This one speaks to a testament to, how good Mario Kart 8 already looked, especially 8 Deluxe on the Switch already. But, just seeing the gameplay clip that we got here for Mario Kart whatever, it did nothing for me. Like, I am 100% unconvinced of any sort of, oh wow, look how much better this looks. But there's probably, if you analyze it super detailed, maybe you could see, oh well, it definitely, like the polygon models of Mario and their karts are definitely way higher than Mario Kart 8. What are you talking about? Whatever. I'll be real. Like, it's no showstopper. It's no head turner. Obviously, they were always going to have a Mario Kart on the new system. Of course, why wouldn't they? But it was just a little clip of Mario and pals on a desert course, zooming around Radiator Springs, on their go-karts. There might have been a motorcycle in the background. Yeah, Peach was on a motorcycle, whatever. There's other cars. There is a Yoshi's Diner. It looked like there was something glowing underneath like the hamburger drive-thru of the Yoshi's Diner. I don't know if that means anything. That'll be for someone else to basically figure out. I guess you could say, well, it had, when the camera pulled back at the end, there is a very wide draw distance. You could even see little cars all the way to the left off in the distance. But this is, for a system that's going to be, jumping up to the PS4 Pro level of graphical fidelity, this Mario Kart teaser was not it. However, that leads into, of course, the next thing, which is they did announce a direct for the Nintendo Switch 2, which is April 2nd. Congratulations, Andrew. You are correct. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should be listening to the YoVideogames podcast weekly, because if you're not, you're already missing out. Congratulations, Andrew. You are right. They were going to go on this immediately at the start of their current fiscal year. Now, as far as release date for the system, we still have no idea. Could be June, could be fall, could be who knows. I don't think it'll be fall. I'm sticking to June. I'm sticking to late May, Memorial Day to middle of June. I'm kind of really sticking to that. Not that Nintendo has any reason to do it necessarily, but I think the earlier they get this sucker out, the better, because one, all the diehard fans are gonna rush and buy it. I mean, I'm gonna try to as well. Not even because I'm necessarily jumping at the bits for this new system, but just because they own Monolith Soft, and Monolith Soft's new games will be on it. Therefore, I have to own it. But yeah, the initial rush of Nintendo diehards are gonna blitzkrieg for this at the start, and you want to get them out of the way, because you want to have your holiday season ready for mom and dad and grandma and grandpa and all the other non-gaming people in your life who don't know what to do, and they'll buy you Nintendo Switch games or Nintendo Switch system. You want to make it easier for them during the holidays. So I think they're gonna put it out May, June, and have this rush of people beating each other over the head, to get a system, earlier in the year, and then you worry about the rest of the casuals for the holiday season. That's just smart money to me. I would say, because they showed Mario Kart in this first initial teaser, that is going to be the launch game. They're going to launch with Mario Kart whatever. I would call it Mario Kart 9, but someone's, I know a bunch of you are going to get, anal retentive on me and say well, technically Mario Kart 2 are on the mobile, but technically Mario Kart 9, so this would technically be Mario Kart 10. Whatever. It's Mario Kart whatever now. Congratulations, you did it to yourself. So I think Mario Kart whatever is going to be the launch game. And I think 3D Mario is going to be the big fall game. Big new 3D Mario by Nintendo EPD8, which is Nintendo Tokyo. That's my guess. As far as anything else goes, I don't really know. As far as Metroid Prime 4, Probably going to be cross-gen. I think there'll probably be like a $70 version of Metroid Prime 4 that looks and runs a little better, and there'll be a $60 version on the original Switch. It is kind of, as the Monolith Soft guy, I will say this. It does feel a little bit like we're throwing Xenoblade X under the bus here a bit, because it comes out like 10 days before they actually have their big blowout for the new system. So yeah, swan song for the original Switch is definitely Xenoblade X. Yeah, it's backwards compatible, but I still feel, I actually feel a little bit for Xenoblade X, because now nobody's focus is going to be on that game at all, because within 10 short days, they're going to be having their massive blowout. And hell, Monolith Soft itself might actually have a new game to show off at the reveal. I'm actually kind of expecting that. So, poor Xenoblade X. I'll still buy it. I hope you guys do too. But I don't have exactly high expectations for the sales of that game going forward at this point. I think it'll sell okay. We're hoping for 1 million, and if we can get to 1.5 million, that's great. But yeah, as far as all that goes, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. Thank God we can finally get past the rumors of what the system looks like, what the system has. I know there might be some scrutiny on whether or not the new Joy-Cons can act as a mouse, because there is that part in the trailer where they're sliding across the surface, which would sort of indicate maybe they are acting like mice. Maybe. That is a huge maybe. It looks like they actually... There's a part in the trailer where they detach from something, right? So they have like these little, not nubs. They're like these little, I don't know what they are. They're like oval, circular things that the wrist strap hooks onto. Pretty much just like the original Switch, only these are hollow in the center. So you see them detaching from them in the trailer. That could easily indicate that yes, this thing can act as a mouse. And you can slide it around on a surface because you put a little guardrail over them. That is a possibility. I will not say it is a definite, but it is a possibility. I'm not gonna throw it out. It looks like definitely the at least on the red one, it could have, red and the blue could have an IR sensor pointing down. So it's possible. Looks like there's a button on the tippy top of whatever these plastic condoms are for the Joy-Cons. But yeah, it's a possibility. I'm not going to discredit it. It could happen. I think that's definitely something that's in the realm of could maybe be. It would at least be something. And Nintendo's obviously not ready to talk about, whatever the Connect button does, the C button. I'm calling it Connect, but whatever. The C button. The rumor right now is that it's for some sort of new version of the Miiverse. And if it is a new version of the Miiverse, I will be sure to not use it, because I don't personally care. I do not want to socialize and talk with the public on the Nintendo Switch. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all a bunch of unwashed masses. No, that's Smash players. I'm sorry. Never mind. Just don't, unless it has a Street Pass functionality like the 3DS, which would be really dope. If they bring Street Pass back with like, the puzzle pieces and stuff, excellent. All for it. Love it. If it's just about, hey, post your random video clips and photos to the new Miiverse, and then you can download the Miiverse app on your phone, and you can share and connect and talk. No, I don't care. I will talk to my dudes in my chat. I will talk to, my followers. I am not going to talk to anyone else. I don't care. But I don't know. I don't know how that'll function. I think it's a waste of effort, honestly, if Nintendo wants to try again to build up a brand new social media presence. But hey, I guess TikTok is getting shut down in the US, so maybe Nintendo is just going to strike while the iron's hot here. Who knows? But anyways, yeah, those are my initial thoughts are like, well, it's kind of everything we've been seeing for the past month and a half. I think Nintendo maybe dragged its feet a little long on this, especially since all they're really doing is just, here's what the system looks like. It looks like what you've already seen leaked for a month and a half. I don't think the leaks did anything to push this forward. I think that this was the plan all along. I think nothing changed Nintendo's mind about it. That's how I feel about it. I know some people feel like, oh, are they getting pushed forward? Did they do this because leaks? I'm like, no, they did this because it's January and everyone's already bought their Christmas presents already, and it's getting to the end of their fiscal year, and this is primarily to shut the shareholders up because they have a meeting coming up at the end of this month. And they basically wanted this out in the world because they didn't want to have a million questions about when are you going to release the Switch 2? When are we going to see the Switch 2? When are we going to see the Switch 2? This is basically say, okay, here's the Switch 2. It exists. We will talk about it at the very second day of our fiscal year, next fiscal, which is April 1st. On April 2nd, we will have a direct. Shut up about it till then. Don't ask me for shit, as Harada once said. So I think this was mostly just done to shut shareholders up and say, hey, we have a new console. We have a new thing. Here it comes. Don't ask us about it. So this ends months of speculation about when we'll see the new system. Now we get to spend the next 2+ months listening to endless rumor mills about what games will be on it, what will be at launch, what will be ported, what will be developed. I heard that, Devil May Cry 6 and, Tekken 9 and Soul Calibur 7, and Skies of Arcadia 2 and Sonic Mania 3 and 2.5, all going to be at launch on the system. Okay, this is great. Okay, wonderful. So here, well, we're just going to get ready for that. Just get ready for that. My advice is, since we have a release date for the Nintendo Direct, who cares? Like, just ignore the rumor milling, because we have a very specific date when they're going to show the software. So let's just kick back and relax till then. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Switch 2. Figured you guys probably want to know them. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the channel, and have a great rest of your week. Later, dudes.